Hey guys, Redneck Mini 14 here. I wanted to make a quick video today because I watched a movie the other day, and it was a pretty good movie, but as far as like guns and stuff, I thought, they made some pretty poor choices. Not necessarily the people who made the movie, but the people in the movie. And the movie was called How It Ends. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. And it was about like essentially the end of the world, or the start of the end of the world. And it's got Forrest Whitaker in it, and Forrest Whitaker is the father-in-law of this other guy who is, or maybe it's the future father-in-law. But anyway, him and his girlfriend are like on opposite ends of the country when this happens, and something happens over on the West Coast, and he has to, he and his father-in-law, Forrest Whitaker, have to travel all the way across the country to see if they can find his daughter, or his girlfriend, and Forrest Whitaker's daughter. And so, they set off, and they're in their car, driving across the country, and at first you don't even know that they have a gun. And then, Forrest Whitaker pulls out a gun, and it's just a 9mm pistol, like this, only it's not a Ruger, it's a SIG P320 or something like that. And so, pretty much the entire time that they're traveling across the country, they just have one gun, and they're going up against people with shotguns and AKs, ARs, 357 Magnum revolvers, all these like more powerful guns, and the only gun they have is a 9mm pistol. Like, I don't think at any point they ever attempt to take anybody else's guns. Like, there were a couple times where they took out somebody with a shotgun, but they never took the shotgun with them, which they should have. They just kept their 9mm pistol, and that was it. And that was all they had for defense against other people. So that got me thinking, if I was in this situation and I was traveling with one or two other people, which, for a while there they had this other woman with them who was like their mechanic or something, and so there were like three of them for a good portion of the movie. But if I was traveling with a couple other people across the country in an end of the world situation, which of the guns that I own would I take with me? And I tell you right now, I would definitely take more than just a 9mm pistol. Now, yes, I would take at least one 9mm pistol. In fact, this would be the one I get, or the one I take. But I'd probably take more than one. I'd probably take two or three, and make sure that each person in my car had their own sidearm. So I got three 9mm pistols here, two P89s and a P85. They all take pretty much the same magazines. A lot of the parts are the same, so it's a good idea to have, if you're gonna have multiple handguns or just multiple guns of a same type. It's a good idea to have them all be the same, make and model and stuff like that, or at least similar in this case. So, yeah, I definitely take a 9mm pistol for each member of my party. But I wouldn't stop there. I would definitely take long guns. Now, I would definitely take one 12-gauge shotgun, because that's probably the most powerful, up close and personal gun that you can have. So like if you're in a close quarters situation, if you have a shotgun, you're gonna do some damage. And that's what happened in the movie, was the people with shotguns like really, took over and took all their stuff and all that. And they eventually got their stuff back, but the guys with the shotguns, were able to overtake them where they just had their 9mm pistol. So, definitely would want to have at least one shotgun. And this is the shotgun that I would take out of the ones that I own. This is a Maverick 88 with a 7-shot tube. And I got some modifications to it. I got my fiber optic sight up there, and I've got sling attachments for a sling, if I ever get a sling. So, that would be my shotgun, my sidearms, and I also want to have a good rifle. So out of the rifles I own, I'd probably take my 16-inch mid-length gas system AR-15. Because that's like, one of the most common rifles that you're going to come across. So finding extra magazines, ammunition, parts, stuff like that, it's going to be a lot easier than most other rifles out there. And, you're probably thinking, hey, you're Redneck Mini 14, why wouldn't you take your Mini 14? And there's a couple reasons for that. The ones that I just said are because the AR is more common and it's easier to find magazines and parts. But also, and probably maybe even the bigger reason of the two, is the finish on the guns. So, if guns get wet or, whatever, they'll start to rust. Well, it depends on the finish of the gun on how fast they're going to rust or how bad they're going to rust. My Mini 14 is a blued gun. If you get a blued gun wet and wet with salt water or, any other kind of stuff that you'll come across in the environment out there, that a blued gun's gonna rust pretty quickly. And yes, the shotgun is a blued shotgun, but that's just what I have. I got two stainless steel pistols right here. This is a Cerakoted pistol. The AR-15, it's got an aluminum upper and lower receiver, so that's not going to rust. And the barrel is Parkerized. And Parkerization is a lot better when it comes to preventing rust, just like stainless steel. So like if I had a Mini 14 in stainless steel, yeah, I'd probably take one. I'd probably still take my AR-15. But I would take a stainless steel Mini 14 as well for somebody else in my car. And, just another gun I'd probably take in the whole thing would be my AK. This is the AMD 63. This is also a Parkerized gun, so it's going to be better when it comes to preventing rust and all that. As opposed to just a blued gun. But yeah, this is another fairly common gun that you'll come across. You'll be able to come across magazines and ammunition and even parts. Even though this is not the most common style of AK, most of the parts on here are just standard AK parts. So, that's a good thing. So, yeah, these are probably the guns that I would take. If I had like two other people in my car, I have a handgun for each of them, two rifles for two of us, and then a shotgun for the third. Or maybe even I'd carry another rifle, maybe maybe my other AR or my Mini 14. But these are probably the main 6 or maybe 5 if you don't have one of the handguns. But my main 6 guns I'd probably take would be my 3 Rugers, my Maverick 88, my AR-15, and my AMD 63. So, anyway, that was just kind of a pointless, just kind of fun video talking about end-of-the-world situations. But, it just kind of had me thinking that what they did in that movie is definitely not what I would have done. But, it's Hollywood. That's the way they do things. So, it's whatever. So subscribe to my channel, like me on Facebook. I'm Redneck Mini 14, and until next time, be safe.